the connections right here with the USB-C, right? So we connect this to this, and then this like this. And I was thinking of going live.
Dude, fuck yes.
And going live, and we don't call it a podcast. We just call it a live.
Dude.
And we just call it a live. And today, in the title of the live, it will be TikTok ban / workout rut.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna talk, and I'll be talking. Like today, we're gonna talk. No, don't record it.
I did. I've been recording this whole time.
I'll talk about pretty much like how people don't understand of how hard it is for someone to, when they are struggling to lose weight, and what it is to the mindset of someone that is overweight, and then they know that they need to work out to lose the weight that they've gained. And I'll talk about, I'll be like this. I'll say, for most people, and I'm talking, and remember, I'm somebody that runs, 10 miles a day. I put in the work that I have to. But put it like this. I'm always going to represent, and I'll always feel like I am 300 pounds. No matter what I do, I could have a 6-pack. I could have abs, shoulders, all that stuff, which I am already working on. That's how you always see me with a hoodie. It's not going to be revealed until then. But there was a moment before that I fucking hated every day. Because think about it like this. Someone that's overweight, and I'm talking about somebody that's about 300 pounds. If you're under 300 pounds, then you have a big advantage over me when I was starting, right? And I'm 5'7". So 300 pounds is like if a 6-foot guy was like almost 400 pounds. Think about it like that. And for me, it was like every day you think about working out, and you haven't even started working out at all, right? But every day you're just like, if the next 4 to 5 months I put in the work, I'm a 3X right now. If I put in the work every day and I eat healthy and I do everything I have to in the next 4 months, maybe, and that's a huge maybe, probably not going to happen, you'll probably reach a 2XL shirt. And that alone, someone that is overweight, is just like, it's like, imagine you, someone tells you, you're going to work the next 2 to 3 years on your career, but you're going to go nowhere. But
you're going to get $1 raise.
Not even $1 raise. What you're going to get is
25 cents.
There's no raise.
There's no raise.
It's just like, you're just going to be
Catching
like,
up with it.
You are finally getting back on track on your career the next 2 to 3 years that you put in work every single day. For some people, they'll be like, like for someone like me, they'll be like, yeah, all right, cool. Like I know it's fucking hard to hear, but we got to take care of business. But for me to reach that level was of hundreds. Well, now it's like over 1,000 miles, because last year I did over like 870, almost 900 miles, or was it 800 miles, whatever. So for sure, I've done over 1,000 miles in the last 2 years, which is a little bit to runners. Runners, no. But remember, I don't represent no runner. I represent the guy that is struggling. And there's a lot of female watchers right now, and shout out to all of them. But when I say brothers, I'm talking about all the brothers that are like me. The brothers that have normal lives, that are not like the brothers that know what it is to pass a woman in the street, or even being in an elevator with a woman, a gorgeous woman, and they don't even fucking glance at you. I'm talking about those men. I'm talking about the guys that have no genetic advantage, no genetic advantage, but is working every fucking day. And just to be at least mediocre compared to all these, athlete runners and stuff like that, top athlete runners. And that's pretty much what these lives are going to be about. You're never going to hear me talk about, when it comes to like theory on how to run, when it comes to talking about like, you got to step this certain way, put your posture in this certain way, have your movements. I feel there's a lot of theorists out there in the internet already. So go watch them. These lives are really to show people and to explain to people that you're not alone when I like I said, when you wake up every morning and then you're just like, fuck this. I don't want to do this no more. I'm tired of this. And believe it or not, it's like it has to do a lot with your weight. It has to do a lot with the way you are physically right now. Like one thing that, and this was me, and I remember and always remember this, guys. I'm somebody that does have principles. Like as a man, when you show your vulnerability, I know in society you're like, yeah, men should show their vulnerability and stuff like that. But hey, man, I've done it before where I kind of break down in front of a girl, and the next day she looks at you a little bit different. It's different from when a girl breaks down in front of people, cries and stuff. It's accepted. But I'm never going to tell you out of theory, oh, I think it's like this. Oh, I think no, it's like what has happened to me. Like I said, like if I tell you a story about how a homeless person went inside the Denny's restroom that I was cleaning, and they took a shit in the floor, and then they grabbed all the shit and they put it on the walls, and I explained to you how to deal with that. I'm not going to tell you, oh, that's how I think would happen. No, it's because you're looking at a guy that had to do that. So back to what I was saying about breaking down. When we're emotionally, as a man, when you show your emotions, it's a little bit different. So the only woman that I've ever broke down in front of like that I was really looking to do that with was my sister Angie, which is actually in the back of the camera, who is right now reading all the lives, which you'll get into the live comments that are coming on right now, questions that you guys are asking. But yeah, and I remember when I broke down in front of her and I told her I want to work out. I was 300 pounds, like I said. I just got out of a motorcycle accident. I just lost a friend in a motorcycle accident, and that was all in the same year. And then my store got burglarized. All of that was in a period of like maybe 3 to 4 months. And then my weight was not helping me. So what it went down to is I asked myself, you have all these problems right now, and this is Mario version of 300 pounds, how he's dealing with it, with like depression, thinking nothing's going to work. So then I asked myself, simple as this, what would the version of Mario do if he was fit, if he had abs, if he was super just in shape? We're not talking about the problems are going to go away. Problems are never going to go away. We're talking about how would I deal with them if I had that body, if I had that shape. Would I be the same? Would I think about things the same way? At the time, like I said, I was 300 pounds. Obviously, I said, no, I'm going to be the same. But now that I'm in this shape, I could tell you it was the best decision I did. Because the problems and the loneliness will always be there. That's something that's not going to go away. But the thing is, the thing that does change is the mindset and the way that you physically are. There would be times where I remember this. I remember when I got the keys to my store at the block in downtown LA. I went up the stairs, right? Or the elevator in an AC building, super nice. Everybody's in suits. And I'm over here in a t-shirt, Harley Davidson t-shirt to get my keys. But that's not the point. What I'm trying to say is I was 300 pounds. So me simply going inside the building, going up the elevator into an AC room, I was sweating bullets. I was sweating a lot. And it wasn't because I was nervous. It wasn't because, everybody's looking at me right now. I have anxiety. No, it was simply because I was that overweight. And when they were looking at me, the people that are giving my keys, either two things they thought. Either, straight up, he just came from a speed walk or something like that. Or the other one, they were maybe like, damn, this dude's probably fucking on some hard drugs right now. You know what I mean? Like doing some fucking crack or cocaine. And so it was one of those things where the physical part, it does matter. But I know that it matters. I mean, I know that our the way we think right now, everybody's mentality is so corrupted, I think, because of social media, because of the way everybody is perceived. You go online, you see somebody's social media, they're going to show you the best shit that they have going on. They're never going to show you, I'm struggling with this, I'm doing this. They're always going to show you the best shit they're going on. And then you subconsciously, you're like, fuck, man, like, why can't I be like that? Why can't I be in this mindset like the way that person is? And it happens to the best of us. You know what I mean? Anybody that says, oh, I don't think like that, hey man, I just showed you a liar. You know what I mean? So everybody thinks like that, and it's normal. But I think, and then it kind of goes back to like the working out itself, where this whole like you working out, you putting in the work, it reminds you of like who you are. It reminds you that you're tough. It reminds you that you could handle shit. And then it goes beyond working out. You see, like a lot of people, they tend to put working out. And this is how my mentality changed, or my whole perception of it changed when I started losing a lot of weight and putting it seriously. Instead of looking at working out as like another thing of the day, like, oh, I got to eat today, or I got to go to work, or I got to go take care of my kids, or I got to go, you know what I mean? Instead of looking at it like that, the way I thought about it. And remember, guys, I'm never going to tell you stories or examples of like what I read or what I heard. It's what I've done, you know? So the way I did it was I said, let me prioritize. First is God, right? Then it's my workout. Then it's my family and business. That's what I did. And that's what worked. So every day I didn't look at working out as like, oh, I got to go do this. No, I'm more like, I got to eat today, right? I got to literally feed myself. Okay, cool. But you also got to go work out. You got to go run. And here's the thing where when I say work out, I'm not telling you to go run 10 miles a day. You know, there's very few men that could do that. Very few women that could do that. 10 miles a day for 30 days straight. You know, maybe like, remember, when I started that, I was 280 when I started that challenge. And in the end of the challenge, well, the end of the year, Strava says that I was part of the 13 or 14% of the app. So that means that like the rest didn't run those, you know, miles, that high mileage. So I'm not telling you to be part of that. I'm not telling you to be part of, you know, the very few people that could do that. Shit, there was a moment where I hated people that could do that when I was overweight. I hated people that I saw them, they were skinny, they were working out, they were running. I hated those people. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not telling you to go do that. What I'm telling you is simple as this. Dedicate an hour to whatever you want to do in the workout. If you want to go to the gym, sure. But the reason that I tell people to like go run instead of working out at a gym or like, you know, playing soccer, because I love soccer. The reason I tell people to go run, like run, let's say you dedicate a mile, start at a mileage, just 1 mile. Your body will slowly, and your mind too, either two things will happen. One positive way would be like, hey, I got this. You know, I could slowly build a shit. Tomorrow I could do 2 miles. And then the other one, which is the negative part, is you're going to be like, I am seriously, dangerously overweight. And this is not good. And then out of that, if you get into that mindset, 2 things could happen out of that. One is you literally give up because you're like, there's no point to this. Or the other one, it actually pushes you. It reminds me of, it's funny, the first time I went to downtown running, I remember it was me and Diego, and shout out to my brother Diego. Diego was like, hey, let's join this run group. It's downstairs, they meet there. And remember guys, I had the store where I just took a escalator down to go pay the ticket for our parking ticket. And right there at the patch of grass is where all these runners are meeting. Now I know all of my brothers and sisters in the group, so it's a little bit different. But back in the day, 280, 290, I was 300 pounds there for sure. I look at these people and I'll be like, these motherfuckers, bro. These motherfuckers have no idea what it is to be this fat and to wish to be part of them. But I can't, because I know it's going to be a huge struggle. And it's a struggle that you, like, even before starting, you're already like, fuck this, you know what I mean? You want to give up. You're like, I'm not even trying to get into it. So that's where I was at. And then Diego was pretty much, hey, bro, I'm going to stay this Tuesday. I think it was a Tuesday. He's, I'm going to stay this Tuesday. And if you don't stay with me at the running group, well, it looks like you have to take the bus home, because Diego was giving me rides. So I was like, fuck it. I guess so. So I stayed, and I went running with the group. Long story short, if you guys don't know, follows on Instagram and all that stuff, there's three groups. There's the 6 miles, the 4 miles, and the 2 miles. At the time that I didn't know, it's my first time running with this group, any group, right? We kind of do the same route, everybody. But if you're the 2 miles, you kind of stop before a certain street, so you got to turn back. And then the 4 miles go a little bit more higher, and then they turn back. And then the 6 milers, they go all the way to the top, and then they come back. What I didn't know is that I didn't know that exactly what I just explained. So I was just following this group of runners. Obviously, I'm like, hey, I'm with them. And next thing you know, I find out later that I actually was following the 4 milers, not the 2 milers like I initially planned. So I started running with the 4 milers. And two things happened. One, I was seriously struggling. I was struggling the most I've ever struggled. And then the other one was damn, I haven't ran in years. I just got out of a motorcycle accident, huge depression. But I was like, hey, I'm low-key kind of I'm struggling for sure. But something kicked in my head where I'm like, I could do this. You know what I mean? But it's a thought that comes to you not just by thinking about it. It's like when you're in the mess, when you're in the fire of the whole thing. And that's what really pushed me to say, you know what, let me try this. And after that, I went back to the 2 milers because I made a mistake following the 4. But because of that mistake, it actually allowed me or helped me to see hey, man, you could do more than what you think. And then with that, knowing that you could do more than what you think, I started applying it a little bit more to my business, started applying a little bit more to my personal life, and then things, elevate, and, just things just start naturally, just taking a flow in front of you. Things will happen, and that mentality of the whole, I could do more than what I think, that's what goes beyond the workout. That's goes beyond the workout. You could apply that to any job you have. And that discipline or that mentality, whatever you want to call it, will follow that. That's a guarantee, no matter what anybody says. Think about it. Imagine that you could run a lot of miles. You really think you're going to take shit from people when you could fucking handle something big like that? So think about it. Think about it like that. Do you really think... And... do you really think I'm going to allow other people to step over me, walk over me? Because people the brothers that I represent, that happens to them every day. You see people and you automatically know or think in your head that, oh, this person's better than me. This person does more than me. Did it stop? Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of what this whole live thing will be about. And every time I'm going to try to talk about different topics. So right now it's really just the rut. You know what I mean? Being in a rut where you just don't want to do it because you know what's ahead of you. But speaking as a person that I thought like that a few, 2 years from now, before. Yeah, I thought like that. Where I was like, there's no point of trying this because I know it's going to take a long, hard, very fucked up process to get to at least the level of I said before. Like I said before, to at least get to the level of I'm finally starting to be able to handle at least a 2 mile run. There's people that fucking maybe take 6 to 7 months to at least do that. And it's tough. It's a tough thing. It's not something that a lot of people can do. And here's the thing. Here's the crazy part. If you are under, based on the example we've been talking about, if you're under 300 pounds, you already have a full advantage over me when I started. So just imagine you being under 300 pounds, what you could accomplish in the time that I've spent already, which is like 2 years. You'll be a fucking model. You'll be a fucking superstar. If you're under 300 pounds, I'm talking about you. You'll be a superstar. You'll be a model. But here's the thing where a lot of people, now we're going to talk about a little bit about the social media aspect of all this, where I think everybody's poisoned, where it's like, oh, the way your body is right now is perfect. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool thing to have. I think that alone is just you're gratifying yourself internally. That's cool. It's good to think like that. Because shit, I mean, there's moments where I still think I'm a piece of shit, but I know I'm not. But the level of like things I've accomplished in business, physical stuff, I still think that I'm at zero. You know what I mean? So just imagine they haven't done anything and then you're thinking like that. Trust me, I get you, bro. Like I get you, brother. That's tough. But what I'm saying is today's society makes you think that you're okay and all that. And now you have YouTubers or TikTokers, rest in peace, TikTokers, and YouTubers that have channels of them devouring a bunch of junk food in front of them, being super overweight. And they got so many supporters. But usually those YouTube channels don't last. It's not because they lost their fame and stuff like that. And it's a bunch of these motherfuckers that they literally have died. There's a bunch of them where there's a compilation of this lady that shows all these, YouTubers or whatever that are super overweight. And they say, I love my body. I love my life. This is how I feel. It's the best way. And they do their thing. Next thing you know, they're literally dead. Like they are deceased. And the reason wasn't because they got shot. It wasn't the reason because they got burglarized and, somebody stabbed them. It's because of their overweight. And that's because literally their heart was like, boom, boom, boom. And then out of nowhere, too much fat. And it just stops. Heart attack, cholesterol, whatever that thing is. I'm not a doctor. I can't talk to you about that stuff. So, and that's not an opinion. That is literally the fucking, the guy at the morgue said, oh yeah, this motherfucker was so overweight that he fucking or she fucking died. As simple as that. That's not a fact. That's not me thinking or feeling that that's how they thought. Or that's why they died. A lot of people might even tell you, oh yeah, no, they were so sad. That's why they died. And there's people that really think like that. Or they think that oh no, you're perfect. Your body is so overweight right now. But because you feel okay or you're happy with what you have, that's enough. That's what you'll tell yourself and people around you. But the Green Reaper, when he sees that, he's going to be like, oh yeah, I'm taking this motherfucker right now. And that's the Green Reaper. That's not feelings. That's a motherfucker. If you guys know, that's a different story, right? That we will talk about some other time at another life. And so it does go back to what we're talking about, social media, where today's social media is it can be such a cancer and it's just so toxic to a lot of things. And it's funny how it's actually disguised in a positive way. Like I said, people really think that I feel okay or I'm happy the way I look, or it shouldn't matter what other people think of me. Okay, that's cool. Live your life like that. But I know every time you go to the doctor, and I'm telling you, like I said, I'm not going to talk to you about no fucking theory here. I've had doctors where I remember my dad would take me to the doctors, and doctors would get mad at my dad because I was so overweight. But I would tell the doctor, I remember I was in high school. The doctor said, your son is so overweight, he can't do anything. The next thing you know, I joined the cross country team. Yeah, I was overweight. Yeah, I was all that, but I still fucking ran. But still, I still had to put the effort. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's one of those things where I already know and I'm prepared to get backlashed. Oh, this guy's just talking about you should accept your body. You should accept the way you look. Yeah, you should. But you also have to have accountability of like, am I really in a position where I'm about to get diabetes? Or I'm about to get, my blood is so much junk food in my blood that my blood is pretty much sugar at this point. And those are not opinions or the way I feel. Those are facts. And you don't gotta hear it from me. Don't hear this stupid motherfucker right here. Hear a doctor. Tell a doctor. Tell somebody that knows about that. But then you have to worry about and be very cautious of other people trying to sell you products that will supposedly solve those problems. And I'm not here to do that. I'm not here with a QR code saying, hey, go buy this powder and shit. That's gonna help you. No. I'm telling you this, simple as this. If you want to fix all that stuff, if you don't have running shoes, I know you have a pair of Vans. And if you don't have a pair of Vans, get your flip-flops. And if you don't have flip-flops, that means that you're probably, in a not in America. That means that you're in a very poor country. And thank you for joining our live stream. You know what I mean? So if you have those things, a pair of Vans or flip-flops, and you have ground, go run. Or if you have nowhere to do that, do what the prisoners do. The ones in Pelican Bay, the ones in the penitentiary, stuff like that. Start doing some burpees. Those are the motherfuckers that a lot of it that, someday I would love to do something like a doc, you know what I mean? Or some sort of video where we show how do these guys get ripped being in a penitentiary. And we're out here in the fucking world free and we're not taking it seriously. But I think that's the beauty of life alone, where we see everyday people going through their own things. And yeah, there's some stuff where like it's very sad we can't change someone's decisions or mentality. But I feel like that's not that's not like the point of that. The point of that is to learn as we go, take people's, experiences and all that stuff as like, how can I apply it towards me? It's like if you see me, hitting a wall, like crashing against a wall, you're not going to go do the same thing. You're like, oh, he crashed against that wall, so I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go around it. So that's really what I'm talking about when it comes to other people's lives and experiences, how it could affect you and how you could use that to your advantage. Because if you say, oh no, that's being like, I'm looking at other people's problem and that's kind of instead of helping them, well, I mean, hey, they're going to do it to you. They're going to do it to you, bro. So going back to, I kind of rambled a little bit there, but yeah, going back to the rut of working out. It's tough. It is a thing where everybody struggles with. Trust me, everybody struggles with. I even know runners that are top runners that are like, oh, I would die to have your body type of runners. Or even the level of success you've reached in running, where they're struggling too. So like I said, the struggle, the problems of life, they won't go away. That's not going to go away. You running, don't think that's going to make you badass and all this shit. No. I mean, it'll make you a badass, it'll make you a monster for sure. But it's that the point is not that your problems will go away. It's more like you will be stronger. You'll be stronger to deal with it. You'll be wiser to deal with it. Because like I said, every time I go for my 10-mile run, I could have a problem in my personal life. But when I'm done with that 10-mile run, when I come back, I already know how to fix it. Someone will tell you that's about 3 to 4 months worth of, therapy. But for me, it's like go run a, 10-mile run. So yeah, hope you guys like the video, the live stream. Everybody's cool. And shout out to Angie for filming me out of nowhere. And now let's do a real live. Should we do a real live?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.